What's up, y'all? This is Mike Manzer with another Manzer Faust Productions video. And this is the first video I'm doing this week. This week, I already can tell this shit's gonna be nuts. I'm probably, guesstimate, probably 3, but I might have 4 or 5 videos this week, because I got a lot I want to talk about. It's July. It's the big, mid-year list time for me. I got a lot coming up. Gonna do partner labels. I have a little impromptu unboxing. Gonna do another video in my series on getting to know your partner labels, and probably a couple more in the queue as well. So man, you're gonna have a lot of content the next couple of weeks. And also, coming up, I'm going to have my top records that came out this year, my top reissues, and probably a couple of other things. Definitely going to get a stop, watch, and listen in here. Been watching a lot of stuff that I've had sitting around on VHS forever, finally getting to a lot of those. Got a lot of cool movies to talk about in that. But today, I am going to be focusing on the first 5 months of 2023 from Vinegar Syndrome. Just an amazing year 2023 has been. I really like 2022, and some extremely great releases came out last year. Reform School Girls, Freeway, the 4K of Texas Chainsaw 2, obviously, Thriller, A Cruel Picture, such an amazing release for that. Some great documentaries involved on that. Just killing it last year. And this year, there's been a couple that I've been kind of lukewarm on. Wasn't really big on 5 Women for the Killer, I think it was called. It was alright. It wasn't the best, giallo I've ever seen, and definitely not the best giallo they've released this year. I'll talk about that. But, when you compare it to a lot of those, forgotten giallo sets, I liked it a lot more than a lot of those films. Was not as blown away as everyone else of Curse the Blue Lights. I was not big on that movie. A lot of it, I kind of just made fun of it. I thought the dialogue was kind of shit. I think I talked about that in a former video, so I won't go too much into that. There's been some, B-tier releases. Frostbiter, I had a real good time with it. Night Screams is real fun. I might need to revisit that one. Primal Rage? I can't remember the name of it. I'm fucking up. But yeah, that one was fun. Again, gonna probably have to spend more time with it, but I tried to go 2 releases per month, but one of the months I wasn't as big on, and then the next month was insane. So I got 2 from January, 2 from February, 1 from, did I get 2 from March? Yeah, 2 from March, 1 from April, and 3 from May. And May was insane. I could have put the whole slate on May, but, I wanted to keep it to, the big ones that really blew me away. A lot of solid 4Ks this year. I really feel like last year they released a good amount of 4Ks, some stuff that we didn't have before. Like I mentioned, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Their Death Wish 2 4K was very cool, even though I have 20 copies of that fucking movie. Was really into that. There's a bunch of really solid 4Ks last year. But this year, I feel like they've really dialed into some really good stuff. There's been a lot of great, little tinier box sets, 3-film box sets. I know there's that 4-film Polish set they released during halfway to Black Friday. Have not picked that up yet. Keeping an eye on it. I probably will grab that next month and talk about that. I still need to catch up on the sub labels. I think they call them, so like VSL, VSA, VSP. I still need to pick up Sick of Myself. That looks really good. But yeah, so I got some catching up to do on there. The VSA, I'm probably just gonna do like all of them at like once, just in a big package, because I've been doing that a lot lately. And the VSL is probably the same thing. I've been wanting to get that Cat Creeps, so I'm kind of mad at myself for sleeping on that for so long. But yeah, so let's get into this. So yeah, 10 titles. And this isn't going to be a top 10 list. It's not in any order aside from when they were released, what month they were released. And let's get into it. And happy to start off the list with this. This would have gone pretty close to the top. It wouldn't have been my top. I'll probably reference that. There's a few contenders. They've just been killing it, especially on these 4K releases. It's just been a ball seeing what they're going to drop every month. So the first one, like right out the gate, just bitchin' month, the first month. I forgot to mention Infernal Rapist as well from January. It was awesome. Real fun, real over the top, just like completely fucked up. But yeah, 4K of From Beyond, Stuart Gordon's amazing adaptation of another H.P. Lovecraft, and I love the Reanimator. It's like one of my favorite horror comedies of all time, but man, From Beyond is the shit. This is probably like the best Stuart Gordon movie. I am not exaggerating. I fucking love From Beyond, and this release is just gorgeous. Like, I got a giant projector set up in my bedroom, and this is definitely one of the ones that I had to throw on there because the colors are just, they pop like nothing else. I mean, with Stuart Gordon doing H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, a lot of H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, what sells them is really like the way it looks, the color schemes, the effects and everything like that. It just is such eye candy from start to finish, and that's why I love this movie. It's got, great humor. The cast is amazing. It's a lot of people coming over from Reanimator. You got Barbara Crampton, you got Jeffrey Combs, you throw in fucking Ken Foray, who I love, really good dude. I've met him years ago at a horror con, really good dude. Solid, will sit there and talk to you about whatever. Just a great cast, great effects. I love the Dr. Pretorius character, just like the disgusting shit he obviously you got Brian Usna involved in here. Big fan of his work. There's a great documentary on here, which really sold it for me, even though I'm a subscriber, I get them all anyway. I was really big on this coming out. I was so excited because the documentary is amazing. Really great. You get some really good, interviews and, behind-the-scenes footage and everything like that. It's just a solid, great film. And, we don't have Stuart Gordon around anymore, unfortunately, but I'm really happy to see a lot of his films, a lot of Brian Usna films, a lot of this stuff that doesn't get, like, the best representation in the past. I have the Scream Factory Blu-ray of this, which is pretty good. It's a decent release, but this blows it the fuck out of the water. This is like top tier fucking release for From Beyond. Love it. Cannot recommend this one enough. And you're going to be hearing that quite a bit in this video, because holy shit, like I've been saying, they've been firing on all cylinders this year. And also from January, this was a no-brainer. I had to talk about this. They've released like some amazing. Every one of these like 3-film box set kind of things has been really great. And what I like is that they're focusing on like the regional thing, but outside of the United States. Like, they want to do another homegrown horrors set. I'm down with it. But I really like that they're stretching out. And one of those countries they've been really diving into is Hong Kong. And I've been loving all their Hong Kong releases, just killing it. I really love my 2 favorites so far are Righting Wrongs. Had such a fun time with that. And Ebola Syndrome, because I love Ebola Syndrome. It's just everything I love of a Category 3, just over-the-top, fucked-up movie. And I'd probably put very close to that Iceman Cometh. I thought Iceman Cometh was amazing. So, what better thing to do than release a triple feature box set? Just amazing work on this, and that's Made in Hong Kong Volume 1, and I like the sound of Volume 1. You get those little magnets that they use for the Cardona box set, and the partner labels put out those Doris Wishman box sets. I don't have any of those, and yeah, whatever. I'm iffy on Doris Wishman. I have my reasons, so I might do a video on that in the future. But yeah, this is amazing. You got 3 movies: Demon's Baby, Erotic Nightmare, and The Deadly Camp. Very, very cool. This booklet is like really great. Gives a lot of great information on the movies. Gives like a kind of overview. I think it gives like a little bit of like an that might have been the Ebola Syndrome has like a real good write-up on the history of Category 3. But yeah, I had so much fun with this set of films. They're all great. There's some really good like video essays on here. There's some great interviews. They always pull it out, but what really sells this is how great the movies are. The Demon's Baby, probably my favorite. Very Dead Alive, early Peter Jackson kind of vibes. The way it's shot, the way the action is, the speed of the film, like how it moves, the type of humor. It's definitely got like a Hong Kong kind of aesthetic to it, but man, I definitely got hardcore Dead Alive vibes. And, maybe a little bit of bad taste in there, totally, but the story and the plot and everything definitely did bring to mind like the kind of viral kind of aspect, the contagion kind of aspect of Dead Alive. Even though this is quite different. Demon's Baby is all about, I believe he's a sort of, God, I never know what they're referred to. But it's a little bit of a Sam Raimi as well. So this, I guess he's a master or something, guru. He has 4 or 5 wives. They all get pregnant with these demon babies and basically just lay waste to his entire village. And the two of his workers have to go to see, like, I'm bad with like terminology. That's my problem. But they go to Anthony Wong, who's always killing it in these movies. I believe he's in all 3 of them. Yeah, he is. And he kind of is their like guru. He helps them destroy these fucking spirits coming through these demon babies, pretty much. So that was fun. Erotic Nightmare is really cool too. You get Anthony Wong is like a businessman who gets these dreams sold to him by some like seedy salesman kind of character, very supernatural. And basically these dreams are like the most erotic, like over the top dreams he can imagine. And unfortunately, when he wakes up from these dreams, accidents end up happening, and these tragedies end up coming of the people around him that he loves, and it just is unhinged. And this villain kind of salesman character is just fantastic. He's so fucking unlikable at times, but you can see how this businessman played by Anthony Wong can really be sucked into him. He's very charismatic, very the character is very bipolar. Like, he's very godlike, and the next minute he's very abusive. Just very fascinating film. And Anthony Wong, just his acting is amazing. Like, every single one of these movies, he's playing a totally different character and giving it 110% every fucking time. So I'm really getting into a lot of stuff that he has been doing. I really love that movie Taxi Hunter as well. I know they just put out a version of that. I think 88 Films might have put that out, and I'm really looking to get that because that was such a great movie. And The Deadly Camp was probably my least favorite, but I really had a good time with it. It's more of like that kind of like teenagers on an island. They kind of, people have compared it to Friday the 13th. I don't really get much of a Friday the 13th vibe from it, though. It's definitely that camp on an island, isolated kind of vibe, but it does incorporate some found footage elements. The camera work is pretty solid for this time period as far as like found footage stuff. Yeah, just in general, this was a really great set. If you haven't picked this up yet, I highly recommend it, as much of this video. It's very fun, and I can't wait to see Volume 2, and also what they continue to do with Hong Kong horror in the future, Hong Kong genre in general. Just killer releases so far. I also want to mention from last year, Burning Paradise was amazing, really fun, has a bunch of different genres kind of melded together in it, and it's just amazing. It's so much fun. And sticking to Hong Kong, we got going into February, we got fucking Biozombie, dude. This was nuts. Again, it sells it kind of like a Dawn of the Dead kind of riff, but it's not. It's very much not. You you have this very heavy use of like some like kind of like video game aspects and stuff with like how they introduce characters. You got some video like format changes and everything like that. It's just so much fun. The characters are all like equally annoying and pervy and gross, but fun and like enjoyable to watch at the same time. And I feel like Hong Kong really kills it at these type of characters. Just like disgusting, scuzzy motherfuckers, but like you cannot help but have a blast watching them. Just amazing. It's got a low budget feel, but it moves so fast. It's like they use the mall kind of setting very well. The dead guy in the trunk kind of premise to it just goes off the rails real quick. It's just so fucking good. I love Biozombie. This was such a blast. I gotta revisit it. I don't have a perfect memory of it, but I had such a blast with this movie. So yeah, Biozombie definitely continuing the trend of amazing Hong Kong releases, and I got it in this exclusive subscriber box set. Just gorgeous. Yeah, had that right. So also in February, they've been really pulling out a lot of these Uli Lumeta films, which I'm really into. One of them I'll talk about later. I've seen before, but revisiting, and I have a bigger appreciation for it. But this one, right off the bat, I had a blast with, and that is the Devonsville Terror. This is from 1983. So you got such a great cast in this: Suzanne Love and Donald Pleasance. Donald Pleasance is like top of his game in this. I always love a good Donald Pleasance performance. Just great kind of folk horror, witchcraft, kind of one of those like outsider kind of city folk move into this small town and just get pretty much succumb to its entire kind of weird, kind of small town atmosphere. They don't know quite what they're getting into, and just like it's very fascinating. Like just the cult aspect of this is very cool. The kind of experiments that Donald Pleasance is doing on different individuals. It's just very, very dense film. A lot of cool stuff. I love it. I love that Vinegar Syndrome's really diving into a lot of these Uli Lamel films, because I feel like a lot of these have been kind of hard to get. I feel like this was released by Code Red, and I've had my words about Code Red. A lot of their releases are very hit and miss, like very hit and miss. Even on the same release, there's stuff I love about a release, and there's stuff I utterly hate about a release from Code Red. And seeing that, like, Vinegar Syndrome's been picking up a lot of their stuff, like they did with Trauma and a lot of these, like, lesser-known MGM titles. It's really cool to see, like, a really good edition of this. It's a great film, really enjoyable. Yeah, solid. Devonsville Terror. So, I believe this is March we're into now. And I have another box set, and this caught me by surprise pretty hardcore. I did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did. And that is Mexican Gothic, the films of Carlos Enrique Taboada. I can never say his name. I'm weird about it, but yeah. Again, kind of the same packaging as the Made in Hong Kong set. Great booklet, a lot of essays on each film, and they've been really doing a great job with a lot of these Mexican films, which is another genre that has been very underappreciated in the past. Spanish as well, just really releasing a lot of great films from these countries. And so these are very, two of them are extremely well-made Gothic kind of, kind of horror tales. They do have a vibe that is very close to what Hammer was doing in the 60s. Great sets, over the top, violence, a lot of sexuality, nudity, some great acting, just hits it out of the park with a lot of these. So first you got Poison for the Fairies, which is about two young girls, one of which is a kind of she's like a witch. She's I believe it says she's like possessed by the soul, the spirit of like a witch from long ago. I might be wrong about that actually, but the two children characters are the actresses playing them are just fantastic. You really get like emotionally riveted by involved with these characters. you have kind of like this bullying aspect of the witch character, kind of like manipulating and like controlling the normal, let's say, character, and just like it's very great, like gothic horror. I feel like that movie in particular must have had a real grand effect on somebody like Guillermo del Toro, who does do a lot of films like Kronos and Pan's Labyrinth, some amazingly beautiful horror movies. But they do have that vibe, they're very gothic horror, and they also have the children in danger kind of element. And this is definitely a movie where it does children right. You get good child actors portraying them, and yeah, it's a solid film. Darker Than Night, or Darker Than Night, I had a lot of fun with this one too. Trying to remember, just gotta. So you get this elderly woman who has like this cat, dies, leaves her house to, I believe it's her granddaughter, and, aunt. Okay, so just gotta remind myself of some of this stuff. So she's her aunt, leaves her giant estate, the cat. You get the maid housekeeper character. Just a lot of strange things start happening. The cat. There's one character who can't. So I guess she moves in with a bunch of her girlfriends. None of them get along with the housekeeper. There's some, weird shit going on there. The cat, there's like one character who cannot stand the cat, just terrified, hates cats. And one by one they get like picked off, and it's just, the atmosphere is really cool. I like the supernatural element, is played very well, and yeah, just a great character throughout all of these, and I really love Darker Than Night. And then the best one of the set, and not really like what I'd think of in traditional gothic horror. I'd throw this more into a Twilight Zone or a Night Gallery kind of vibe. These stories almost like EC Comics style morality tale about two woodcutters who have been friends, I believe, for like a lot of their lives. They're married to two women, and they have this like very close relationship as like this kind of extended family. And as they're off doing woodcutting, there is a plane crash, and they're definitely painted as blue collar, low income individuals, just doing everything they can to get by, very hard on money. And when this plane crashes, they discover it before anybody else does, and they decide to go back to it on a later date to get a bunch of the gold and all the different riches and everything from the plane, and take it into town and try to pawn a lot of this stuff to get money in order to keep their house, in order to get out of this situation in this little village, give their kid a better education, give there's a lot of this medical situation where the doctors just treat everyone like shit, if they're not, like wealthy, and you can hear the doctor talking horrible things about his patients. when the door is closed, and it's just, you feel really like involved and invested in these two characters and their families getting out of the situation, just building themselves a better life. And as is with these type of stories, it goes off really bad for them, and people turn on each other. There's betrayal aplenty. It's just such a powerful story. Again, very much like one of those morality tales you would have seen in EC Comics or on the Twilight Zone. And man, I grew up with the Twilight Zone. I love a lot of that stuff, so these kind of stories are right up my fucking alley. I love it. So that was definitely so good. And I didn't pull it, but the Spanish Horrors set was really good. I like The Sky is Falling, I believe it was called, with Dennis Hopper. Was wicked cool, kind of a hippie versus more like kind of snobbish types in the, I believe it was made in the early 70s. That was a lot of fun, but you know, I wanted to keep it. I'm probably going to talk about this and that set in their own, you know, dedicated videos. Dive into a couple of these a little bit. Probably rewatch one or two. So yeah, really cool. I like all these Mexican releases as well. Another part of the world I was not as familiar with prior to these releases, and yeah, just more great stuff. And also released we're into March, right? So this is a follow-up to probably my release and many other people's release of 2022. And this was highly requested throughout the time since that release came out. And that is Freeway 2, Confessions of a Trick Baby. And this is great, man. It's not better than Freeway. I'm just going to say that. People have said that. I get it. But I had a blast with this. This was so much fun. It definitely does go ridiculously off the rails. And, you know, Freeway is pretty crazy as is, you know. It's great. But you got such an amazing cast. Natasha Lyonne, Vincent Gallo's, like, appearance in this. Like, I don't like it when Vincent Gallo's behind the camera, I'm going to say. I'm not big on a lot of his films that he directed. I think The Brown Bunny, very rightly, is one of the most stupid, pretentious pieces of shit ever made. It's the only time I've sided with Roger Ebert in his just vitriolic hatred of The Brown Bunny. It's just a movie that does nothing for me. Yeah, so fuck that movie. In my opinion, but he's really great in this. He's gonna be in one of the partner label releases I talk about, so you know, you get that to look forward to. Just crazy fucking movie. Natasha Lyonne hooks up with, you know, it's kind of the same thing where she has an eating disorder, you know, gets put in jail for like 25 years, and her cellmate is this girl. I believe she killed her family or something, but she's just psychotic, very like nymphomaniac, just sex like addict personality, just like sexual to the extreme. She's constantly trying to get with Natasha Lyonne. What is the name of the other girl? Cannot remember her name, but she is incredible. Like, they are just great. Everybody in this movie kills it. I love David Alan Grier as the I guess he's like a parole officer or something. Like, just fucking insane film. So much fun. And Freeway, was definitely the Big Bad Wolf, Little Red Riding Hood motif. This is straight up Hansel and Gretel. Like, they're going to meet this cult, this kind of preacher, priest kind of figure at the head of this cult. We get like a lot of like eating disorder stuff in this. There's like some puking. There's some really gross shit. Vincent Gallo's in it, so obviously you see his cock at one point, because you can't have Vincent Gallo in a movie, it seems, without him whipping it out at some point. It's insane. This is just fucking so much fun. The dialogue is like insane. It takes a lot of the crazy shit from Freeway and just cranks it to its like breaking point. There's some kills in this that are just disturbing and unhinged. There's so many like cool little video effects when they're on the road. It's got a great road movie aspect to it, and just fan-fucking-tastic. It's a beautiful looking film. Great music throughout. It's definitely got that late 90s. It's from 99, so it definitely fits in with that late 90s. Just fast. Kind of B-movie, but very, you can tell that the budget on this was, decent, It's like very exciting film. The ending is just insane. They both end on like really the funniest shit, like Freeway. These movies are just so great. I still need to get the VSA from the Ted Bundy movie, which was made by the director Michael Brate. I've seen it years ago. Would love to revisit it. Not really a big Bundy guy, but if it's a well-made film, definitely want to check it out. I remember it being pretty well. But yeah, Freeway 2, sick, great movie. Love that they're giving great releases to those movies, just getting them out there to more people. Hell yeah. Continuing in Mexico, I believe. Is this Mexican or Spanish? Mexico. We get Vacation of Terror 1 and 2. Pretty cool release. The first one is more of a straight-ahead kind of poltergeist, Amityville Terror kind of vibe. Family moves into this house, and it has a doll. They didn't move into the house; they're on vacation. It's in the title. There's this doll. Kind of it definitely does fit in with those kind of low-budget Amityville sequels that Vinegar Syndrome put out a few years ago in that box set, where it's like sort of this object that it kind of encapsulates the spirit of this house that it comes from, and just terrorizes this family. It's fun. It's very well made. The sequel, though, really kills it. The main character in both of these is this guy. Can't remember his name. Don't want to waste any more time than I already have looking at the back trying to remember. But just like, he's really good in it. The second one is just insane. Great practical little like miniature effects. The monster effects are really great. Great makeup, everything. The second one is Diabolical Birthday, where I guess the doll from the original shows up at an antique shop and ends up in the hands of a singer, Mexican pop singer named Mayra, and her younger sister really takes a liking to this doll and starts taking it everywhere. And this doll causes shit to go awry during this birthday party that they're having for the young girl. And it's a blast. Like I said, there's a lot of great like creature effects and makeup effects in this movie. Just insane like set pieces and stuff. Like I love these Mexican films really using the landscape of Mexico and like darkening it. You know, you get these dark alleyways of Mexico. Very cool. I think they really capitalize on the look of the Mexican kind of city life in these movies. And it's so fucking great. You know, you still have a very, they're not like rich, I wouldn't say, but they're definitely, you know, upper middle class kind of characters. Just really fun though. Both, you know, solid. Again, great characters. The set pieces are amazing. I really like the house in the first one. They establish it very well. A lot of great, you know, outside establishing shots of the house, but like just atmosphere. The music fits very well. Yeah, very much in kind of a haunting, Amityville horror, poltergeist kind of vibe. Yeah, two really fun films from, once again, Mexico. Really great release. And now on to May, which is one of the best months like I could have ever imagined. So yeah, like these are all great. These are all on 4K too. So again, like just killing it on the 4K front. Just everything they've been releasing is amazing. And I don't talk about Night Screams just because, you know, I had enough titles already. But yeah, every release and even the Spanish box set I mentioned earlier, all of them worth a purchase for sure. So first one up, it's a rewatch for me, but sold it this time, is The Boogeyman. This is another Uli Lumel film. You know, for a lot of people, famous for being on the Video Nasties list. Solid, solid work on this film. The cinematography is gorgeous. Really good use of music. There's the iconic theme you hear in the trailer. I always thought the trailer was like amazing. I had this on a 88 Films, one of their slasher classics releases, I believe. And I wasn't too big on it on there. Seeing it in 4K really does more justice than that would have ever done. This is definitely supernatural. It deals with this kind of a mirror possessed. So again, you have these like kind of inanimate objects, possessions that get passed down, and you know, it involves this woman, this lady named Lacey, who witnesses murder when she is young. Her brother basically just like kills her stepfather, and the evil from this is contained within the mirror, and she's going to therapy about this. She goes to David Carradine, great performance from him in this film, and you know, ends up going back to the house. It's got a very Halloween vibe. It's this lake house. You know, you get a lot of great suspense with the rest of the members of the family. A lot of people don't believe her in this story, and there's a lot of skepticism about it. They do get a priest that comes in, very famous scene towards the end. Pretty solid. I like the colors in this. This does fit in with From Beyond. Very cool to see it on like a big screen, blown up. This looks fantastic. Again, that main theme is so good. I don't know if this is out on vinyl, but if it is, this is definitely one I would love to get the soundtrack for, because it's just great horror soundtrack. That's almost kind of influenced by, it's like a wackier version of the Halloween, what is it, Laurie's theme? It's got kind of that vibe to it. And, you know, getting into all these Louis Lumet films, it's kind of cool because he's definitely been underrepresented. I've heard the second Boogeyman is not that great. I have not seen it yet. I don't know if they're going to release that as well. I think that has some weird rights issues with it as compared to this. I think this took a while to come out in the United States. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, the 88 film was kind of a bare bones release. Still pretty good, but as I've noticed with a lot of 88 films releases, once Vinegar Syndrome gets their hands on it, they do so much of a better job with it. So, hell yeah. Boogeyman, great second watch. Sold it for me. Hell yeah. Next up, just more and more of these, like, kind of avenues they've paved for themselves. So we talk about the Hong Kong films, we talk about the Mexican films, we talk about Freeway and its sequel. This fits in with that as well. Another person, subject matter that's been getting a lot of attention the last couple of years is Cynthia Rothrock, and we got Undefeatable. And dude, this is up there. Like, I think at this point my favorite Cynthia Rothrock is Sworn to Justice, just because it's so insane. It's almost like Cynthia Rothrock in like a Basic Instinct style movie, you know. But like, man, this was worth every bit of hype. I really did like Righting Wrongs too. That was a lot of fun, and this is just great. You get like, and I'm surprised I didn't know about this. Famously, there's a video of the ending on YouTube, and shit, man, it's insane. So Stingray, the villain of this movie, is just evil incarnate. He's a rapist, he's a misogynist, he's just like the most fucking evil dude. He's always able to get into like situations by manipulating the shit out of people and then killing them. He's got this real obsession with eyes, which comes in handy at the ending. Just fucking nuts. Just great action set pieces. Cynthia Rothrock is part of a street martial arts team who get street fights and have these like underground illegal brawls, death matches, all that kind of stuff. And this dude Stingray is moving around through this kind of underground circuit of fights and stuff, but he is just vicious. He gets dumped by his wife at the beginning of the movie, and he just gets obsessed with going to like every woman who's dressed in a flowery dress and somewhat looks like his ex-wife, and brutally killing them and killing sort of this like revenge on her having an affair, and leaving him is just insane. He's such a crazy fucking character. What's the name of the actor? John Miller, who was also in another film made by, so this is Godfrey Ho, which I love. Godfrey Ho. Need to get more into his stuff, but man, just, and this isn't like your average Godfrey Ho where it's a bunch of reused footage. It doesn't do a lot of that. It's a lot of original footage for this film. They might have used the footage from this film and other shit, but you know, just he was also, this dude John Miller was also in Honor and Glory. There's a great feature on this interview with him, and it's just so much fun hearing him talk about this character, because this character is just out of fucking control, and he's so much fun to watch, almost like that what I said about the Hong Kong, made in Hong Kong box set. just watching this character is so much fun. He's just so over the top. He's eating scenery just like rapidly in front of you. Like every scene, he just steals it. Just insane. And that end fight, the ending, is totally worth the hype, man. This is just such a good time. I feel like this could work its way up in the Rock kind of. I really did like Tiger Claws as well. I know people were kind of lukewarm on those, but I had a blast with that trilogy. So yeah, Undefeatable, just hell yeah. I had so much fucking fun with this movie. Release more Rock, because, like, man, all those movies are just top tier action 90s goodness. And last one, this is probably my favorite. It's either this or Freeway 2. From Beyond's pretty close as well, but this is definitely like the marquee title of the entire year. They always have that one title. So, you know, they had Thriller last year, amazing release, like I said before. They also had Flesh for Frankenstein, also amazing. Sort of a similar vibe with this, and that is Blade in the Dark. You get this over-the-top packaging. Got the great booklet with the awesome original poster art. Very cool. So yeah, Roberto Bava. This is from 1983, and you know I love Roberto Bava. Probably one of my favorite 80s Italian directors. You know, I love Fulci. Fulci is like my god. I love Argento. And I love his, Roberto's dad, Mario Bava, obviously, like Blood and Black Lace, Lisa and the Devil, like a lot of his classic stuff, Bay of Blood. I even like Baron Blood is really good. Solid, like, Gothic horror. What's the one? $5 for an August Moon. I really do. It's a little weird, but I do like Kidnapped a lot. And Roberto Bava, you know, I'm obviously a huge fan of Demons 1 and 2. It's fucking blast. And this really snuck up on me. It's like, I'm not gonna pull this up all the way, but it's almost like a meta giallo. A lot of these giallos, like, I'm kind of hit or miss. I forget about them like the minute I'm fucking done with them. And I did talk about this in one of my stop, watch, and listens, so if you really want to hear me go into depth about this, go watch that. But yeah, this was a blast. I love the premise of it kind of following this composer writing music for a giallo film, kind of capitalizing on a lot of the tropes you would get within giallo at the time. Very fun, and I've said this in the other video, I don't think the meta aspect came into a lot of these. You know, you have a lot of straightforward kind of retellings of a lot of the same stories in giallo films. You get the you know, it's a lot of 10 Little Indians, you know, the old dark house kind of vibes. And I like that they went in the direction of you know, the composer and the work that goes into making these films and the kind of culture surrounding these films. Very cool. Like, great acting all the way through. You get some really over-the-top kills. The music, obviously, because it's dealing with a composer, is top notch. Just an amazing film, amazing release. You get the different cuts of the film. You get a television cut. You just got so much on this release. It's 2 4Ks and 2 Blu-rays. This is definitely their hallmark title of the year so far. The marquee title, it goes up against, like I said, Thriller. Definitely great. I still need to pick up their VSU for the month of May, which was Showgirls. I love Showgirls. I'm really kind of slacking on picking that up. I will, I promise, and I'll probably talk about that. I want to do a video in the future, just off on a tangent, about VSU and kind of focus on their releases through that. If I can ever get a copy of Roadhouse, because I don't really give a shit about Roadhouse, it's fine. But, if I ever pick up a copy of that, I'll probably do one that series releases from Vinegar Syndrome. But yeah, Blade in the Dark. Just, this is what I live for. These kind of releases. Just great features throughout. The interviews are really solid. You get just everything about this. The packaging, just awesome. Blowing it out of the park. And that'll do it, man. Like I said, got a partner label video probably coming out later this week. Got an unboxing I'm going to do. Kind of an unboxing. It's already open, so I don't know if you could really call it an unboxing. Something that sold out on the site, that I had to go to the physical store, the archive. If you're listening to me say that, you probably know what it is, but it's huge. I want to dive into it in its own video, so that'll probably come either tomorrow or Wednesday. Just, you got a couple of other things I have in the works, like Stop, Watch, and Listen. Next week, you're going to get the vinyl music from this year and reissues, everything like that. So you're going to have a lot of content. I'm loving doing this. I say this every video, but I appreciate the shit out of all you guys. It's just such a fun community. I might not have like 1,000 followers. I'm not huge, but I'm really having a good time. It's all positive, nothing but positive comments. I love some of the comments I got on the last video. Some of my references to older music from my youth, like the conversations that were happening in there. A lot of opinions on that Axiom record, and I was surprised to see a lot of people talking about how they're not able to get a copy of that. Like it's the one in that discography they don't have, which is mind-blowing that I got it for like $6 about 20 years ago. So I really love how the reaction to that video has been. As usual, man, comment, like, subscribe. Get in those comments, man. Talk about these movies I've talked about. Is there a movie I didn't reference from this year that you really loved? Do you hate one of the releases I talked about? Do you want to say more about? Do you disagree with me about one of these releases? Put it down in the comments, man. Let's get this conversation going. Let's do everything we can to rep like fucking Vinegar Syndrome. I know everyone on YouTube is sucking this label's dick, rightly fucking so, because just amazing releases. They're killing it. I couldn't be happier to support a great people behind it. The people buying these titles and restoring these titles and doing artwork for them. All these people are doing amazing work. Obviously, there's so many great labels out there. You got Arrow, you got Severin, you got a bunch. Can't think of them all off the top of my head, but everybody's really doing a lot of great work. Vinegar Syndrome, I just have a bias. They're right down the street from me. I've been buying from them for about 7 years now. It's just never ceases to amaze me what they're able to release, what they're able to get their hands on, and what they're able to do with it. How great these releases look, and it really causes you to take a movie you would have like dismissed, like what the fuck is this, and dial into it so much more, and to grow on you. Like that Boogeyman release made that movie so much better for me, and I love it. Will not stop releasing great, great material. And it's like, that's the physical media. That's why we have this, to keep these movies in circulation and to give them the red carpet treatment that they fucking rightly deserve. So cheers to them. More content on them coming in the future. Always. So if you want to find me on social media, I'm the Hordes of Manzerfaust on Instagram, and that'll about do it. So this is Mike Manzer with another Manzerfaust Productions video, and stay fucking metal.